Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. It's 1776. The air is thick with tension. Redcoats march through American towns, taverns are buzzing with rumors, and revolution is just an idea whispered in secret meetings. But then, something impossible happens. George Washington pulls out a phone, opens Twitter, and types, "Greater than, the cause of liberty must not be silenced. Freedom, 1776. Within seconds, thousands see it. Farmers, blacksmiths, and soldiers retweet it. The colonies are suddenly united not by word of mouth, not by pamphlets, but by the lightning speed of social media. Now here's the question. If George Washington really had Twitter, would America have won independence faster? Or would history have taken an entirely different turn? The speed of revolution. In our real history, communication in the 18th century was painfully slow. News traveled by horseback, by ship, or by printed pamphlets that took weeks to circulate. Thomas Paine's Common Sense sold 500,000 copies, but it took months to spread across the colonies. Now imagine Twitter in Washington's hands. A single post could reach every colony instantly. Soldiers in Boston, farmers in Virginia, and merchants in New York could read his words within seconds. The emotional energy of the revolution would no longer be bound by distance. The colonies wouldn't just feel like scattered territories, they'd feel like one unified movement. That's the power of instant communication. Washington the influencer. George Washington was already admired, tall, commanding, respected. But what if he had a verified account? Picture his Twitter feed. Updates from the battlefield, motivational one-liners to rally troops, retweets of Thomas Jefferson's fiery words. In today's world, politicians become influencers, their power amplified by followers. In the 1770s, Washington could have been the original influencer, using hashtags like #LibertyOrDeath and #No Taxation Without Representation to rally the colonies. But it's not just about boosting morale. A strong Twitter presence could pressure undecided colonies, convincing them to join the cause sooner. Public opinion would shift faster, and unity might come earlier than 1776. The #revolution. In real history, slogans like "No taxation without representation" spread slowly through speeches and print. With Twitter, they'd trend overnight. Imagine hashtags. Boston Tea Party going viral with live tweets of colonists dumping tea into the harbor. #shot heard round the world, trending after Lexington and Concord. #, Declaration of Independence, becoming the most retweeted post in history. These viral moments would ignite passion across colonies and even reach Europe instantly. Sympathy from France, Spain, and other nations might come earlier, giving the revolution a stronger foundation. British counter-memes. Of course, Britain wouldn't stay silent. King George III and loyalists would launch their own Twitter campaigns. Imagine British accounts spreading hashtags like #Traitors of the Crown or #British Strength. Misinformation could flood timelines. Fake news about Washington's defeats, doctored images of rebel leaders, or rumors of betrayal. Propaganda wars would play out in real time, and just like today, truth might struggle against loud, emotional misinformation. Could Washington and his allies control the narrative? Or would the chaos of social media weaken the revolution? Washington versus Trolls one challenge Washington would face: trolls and dissenters. In real history, some colonists remained loyal to Britain. On Twitter, they'd flood Washington's replies with insults, doubts, and counter-arguments. You can't win against the empire. Stick with Britain and stay safe. The morale of the Continental Army could swing depending on what trended. Would Washington mute the trolls or respond with fire? This raises a bigger question. Is social media a tool of unity or division? International impact. Perhaps the biggest game changer would be how Twitter collapsed distance not just within America, but across the world. In real history, France only joined the American Revolution after years of watching. With Twitter, Washington's victories and his pleas for help could reach Paris instantly. French citizens could rally online, demanding their king support the revolution. Supplies, money, and even soldiers might come years earlier, changing the timeline completely. Social media wouldn't just unite colonies, it could internationalize the revolution at lightning speed. Washington's image. George Washington's greatest strength wasn't just strategy, it was his image. He embodied dignity, honor, and sacrifice. Now imagine this image curated online. Portraits of him crossing the Delaware could go viral within minutes. Stories of his resilience at Valley Forge could become motivational memes. Washington could transform from general to legend in real time, inspiring not just Americans, but oppressed people across the globe. Revolutions in Latin America, Europe, or Asia might be inspired decades earlier by viral stories of American freedom. The risks of instant fame. But Twitter isn't all positive. What if Washington posted a mistake? An accidental loss revealed too soon? Confidence in the revolution could plummet. What if British spies hacked his account? Fake tweets could sow chaos among his troops. What if misinformation spread faster than truth? The power of social media cuts both ways. Washington's words could unite millions, but a single rumor could destroy trust. Would America be free faster? So here's the heart of the question. Would Twitter have made independence come sooner? The case for yes. Unity across colonies achieved instantly. Morale boosted through viral moments. International allies pressured earlier. Washington's influence magnified globally. But the case for no. Social media chaos could divide as much as unite. British propaganda might weaken the revolution. Leaks, hacks, and misinformation could undermine Washington's authority. History shows us revolutions succeed not just with words, but with discipline, sacrifice, and strategy. Twitter could accelerate progress, but it could also amplify chaos. The bigger lesson. Whether or not Washington could have won faster with Twitter, one thing is certain: communication shapes revolutions. In the 18th century, pamphlets and speeches were enough to change history. In the 21st century, tweets and viral posts have the same power. Maybe the lesson is this: every generation fights for freedom with the tools of its time. For Washington, it was muskets and pamphlets. For us, it's smartphones and memes. The question is not just whether America would be free faster, but whether we are using our own platforms to fight for what matters today. Conclusion. So if George Washington had Twitter, America might have gained independence years earlier, or fallen into chaos before it began. But here's what I want to ask you. If you could give one modern tool to George Washington, not just Twitter but anything, what would it be and why? Comment your answer below. Because history is written not just by the past, but by the what-ifs we imagine today.